Today I'm reviewing the Romeo 5 by Sig Sauer. This is not a sponsored video, and the thoughts and opinions are my own. And with that, let's get into it. The Romeo 5 by Sig Sauer is a surprising little optic for its price point. I bought it about a few years ago, a little bit late into my gun journey, but it surprised me in a number of ways. So let's talk about the optic itself. It has 10 brightness modes, 2 of them being a night vision brightness mode, 2 MOA red dot. It is IPX7 waterproof. It has a 20mm aperture, and of course it has the SIG warranty. It of course runs on the standard CR2032 batteries and has a projected battery life of 50,000 plus hours. That's because it has one of my favorite features, a shake to wake functionality, or as SIG calls it, MOTAC. Another nice thing about this very cheap optic is that it has the ability to turn MOTAC off and use it like a standard on-off switch by holding the button down. To adjust the brightnesses, you just press once. Let's see if we can get that in the camera. Not sure if that'll see it all. Now let's get into the pros and cons. These are kind of my own personal opinions. I've used this on shotguns, ARs, and AKs. I specifically got this one because it was low profile. You can get it as low as it will possibly go, and that works well for a raised AK rail. Now, I'm not exactly a SIG fan, but this sight alone made me a SIG fan because of its price point and all the features in it. This came in at about $100 in 2020, I believe, when I bought it, maybe 2021. Currently sits at about $125. I bought it off of Amazon. One of the really nice things that a lot of people don't think about is the turrets here for windage and elevation actually have a little knurl on it, or a little notch on it. And that's because it fits right into the top of the turret to adjust your windage and elevation. And that's awesome. And right inside the cap there, you can see that each click is 0.5 of a MOA, and it tells you exactly what is up and what is down. And I believe I might actually have these mixed up. Now, any shooter who does zeroing over rifles, which should be any shooter, will understand how nice of a feature that is. Now, this red dot, I've owned it for a while. I don't know where the box is or where the spare pieces are, but it does come with a 1.46 inch riser, which will put it right in line with iron sights. Magpul's iron sights, I know, do work with this. Its low profile is relatively unique for these cheaper optics. It's a very solid construction for what it is, solid block aluminum. You have the option for different mounting risers and whatnot, and because it is a SIG, there's a lot of aftermarket options as well. And there's very little tint from the coating. That's the front there. It's very sleek. It's not easy to get snagged on your equipment if you keep it close to your body. Now we have to get to the cons. So it was actually kind of tough figuring out what are the negatives for this cheap little optic. I like cheap things, and coming under about $100, this was a surprise. So I'm really kind of grasping at straws here, but there's one of the cons is there's no kill flash. Kill flash being the honeycomb or hex pattern that you'd see in front of the optic on military rifles to hide, to kill the flash. There's no functionality that I can see. There's at least not the threading. And you'll see that in some of the other optics that I'll do in other reviews. Honestly, not that big of a deal. The bezel when you're aiming down this optic is relatively thick. There's definitely, I've used thinner out there at a much higher price point, but for what this is, you cannot beat it. Now the real con or deal breaker is this is a optic that you would keep on a gun you keep in your gun safe. Because it has MOTAC, yes, you can turn it on and off, unless you're going to be replacing the battery about every 3 months of it constantly running. This isn't great for a truck gun or constantly moving around or training. The MOTAC is great. I love it, especially because I keep this in the gun safe. But again, there's really not too many cons when you're only spending $100 for an optic. Final save rounds. This is a surprisingly cheap entry from Sig, and very high quality. It surprised me at this price point, and I instantly fell in love with Sig on this optic alone. I would say if you want to throw this, if you have a weapon that needs an optic and you keep that weapon in a gun safe, this is the optic for you. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Winter. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. This is a relatively new channel and a new thing I'm doing on this channel, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments down below, and keep a lookout for the next video. Thanks.